What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Best Podcast. I'm Eric Rustler, your host. Before we get into today's episode, I thought I would plug some dates that I have for upcoming stand-up shows. Please come on out and see me. I promise I'm a much better comedian than I am podcaster. On October 14th, I will be at the VFW in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. On the 21st of October, I will be at the Popeye the Sailor Festival in Chester, Illinois. So you know that's going to be fun. On the 4th of November, I will be in Marion, Illinois in the afternoon. And then I will be in Cape Girardeau, Missouri in the evening. On the 13th of November, I will be in Zanies at Nashville. Please come on out. It's a Monday. It's going to be fun. There's always great comics at Zanies. So come on through and come hang out. On the 15th of November, I'm doing a show at Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis. So come check that one out for sure. On the 17th, I have another show at a date that at a location that has not been confirmed yet. But I promise I will get you those details as soon as I can. And then on the 19th, I will be at the Westport Funny Bone for the Best of the Midwest Showcase. You know I love that title. So come on out, support live comedy. Now, let's get back to the episode. This is part 2 of the Michael Yetman story. Enjoy. File.
Sorry, I had to get some coffee. We're gonna so we in the break we talked about bringing this up. I have a question for you, so let's do it before you get to your, because I want to do some of these the bestesses. I have but I like the
besties.
The besties. You and I like these silly what if questions.
Oh yeah. This one.
So I had one the other day. So if you could lose one of your senses.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Skrillex over here trying to figure out his headphones.
No, I'm good.
I'm just making sure. Professional. Okay, so if you could lose one of your 5 senses for 1 year, but then it comes back perfect, what would you choose?
Okay. So I thought about it. I purposely didn't answer you because I wanted to do it here. But I would go with touch. I would lose the sense of touch.
I like this answer.
Okay. For a whole year. Because I've got a bad back. Right? So I've already lost some feeling. Like my foot. This is my dead foot. This is what my kids call it.
I hate this.
You don't remember about the dead foot?
I remember the dead foot.
I will touch. Yeah. It's numb. Like I just don't feel it anymore after my last back surgery. So I would totally lose the rest of the feeling in my body for a whole year, just so that way when it came back, it would all be perfect and work again. And think about like how great it would be the first time someone like touched your arm after a year of not feeling anything. Like,
oh, think about how, I mean, you're talking you're talking puberty dick. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be so sensitive.
I mean, yeah.
Imagine the ability to have your first nut again, basically. As an adult. You know what you're doing now? I mean, we went different directions.
But do you?
I know how to
After a year of nothing? Because you would have no feeling, right? So,
ooh.
Could you? For an entire year, you would be...
You know it'd be great?
Numb. You'd be senseless, you know?
Probably stop jacking off.
I mean, you should probably do that anyway. You're 36.
No,
you need to hold on to that testosterone. You're not making much more of it.
I hear you. What I'm saying, though, in general, like, think about it. Like, you'd have no reason, like, oh, your mind would be so clear. Because you'd probably stop, like, you wouldn't look up, like, you would be drawn to images and shit. You know what I mean? You would be like...
Would you be able to tell if you were hungry?
You'd become a superhuman.
If you couldn't feel...
If you couldn't feel... Ooh,
Is
good
that
question.
part of touch?
No.
Would you be able to?
You'd know.
You would know if you were hungry?
Yeah. You just wouldn't know, like, it'd be like you wouldn't know somebody grabbed your arm. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I was saying is that, like...
Are you calling to ask somebody?
No, yeah. We've got Dr. Drew on the phone. No, I don't think that you would be able to tell. If you lost the sensation of... Because people that are, like, paralyzed...
maybe.
They don't know that they're... Right?
I don't know.
I've never heard
way,
a paralyzed person be like, I'm hungry, you know, like...
I feel like you're maybe wrong on that one.
Okay, maybe I am.
I want to go with you on it, but then I've seen paralyzed people at the restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think so?
I thought that was just kind of like a social aspect thing. I don't know. I thought maybe they were just like...
they were like the vampires in Twilight. They're like, we don't eat, but
we'll go out to dinner with
pretend.
You. Like, ooh, no, breadsticks. They're just gumming it, spitting it out under the table.
Chewy, I don't need this.
Human filth. With your garlic butter and your...
Yeah, I don't know. I think they can be hungry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm wrong. Yeah. I don't know.
I just don't think they're like they just like they don't feel anything.
Hey Siri, was Christopher Reeves hungry when he died? Was Superman famished when he perished?
What if that's what ultimately took him in the end? Was he died of hunger? Because
they just forgot to feed him because he couldn't say anything.
Yeah, he's just in the wheelchair, hungry.
Yeah, please. Blowing on that little straw to get around. Just, I'm so hungry.
Oh man! Now we'll never play Superman.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed a while ago.
Whatever, you can play Bizarro.
Yeah.
Look up Bizarro. Yeah, look up Bizarro later. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You and Henry Cavill sharing a screen and you're just playing Bizarro.
Yeah, I'm just the ugly Henry Cavill.
You're ugly Henry Cavill.
I'm an everyman's Henry Cavill.
Do you know what I love about Henry Cavill is he, like, everything about him screams, like, big dumb guy. Like, the way he looks, right? Perfect chisel jaw, big muscly body. And then he's like, I love to paint my Warhammer figurines. I've read The Witcher 1,000 times. And you're like, it's got to probably enrage nerds everywhere. It's got to be enraging to a degree, being like, come on, man.
Does it? Because they might be like, oh, one of us, dude. One of us got a chance.
Here's what's funny is, like, nerds really are good at weightlifting. They are. Like, there's a lot of those nerds because they want to be, like, it's numbers and gains, and, like, a lot of them are good at it. But, like, the ones that want to dress up like Superman are not.
Yeah.
You know, but I told you, I saw it so much.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not body shaming anybody, but it is hilarious, the irony of being a person who's like all about being healthy and building their body and being the best version of themselves. And then you go to one of these events and they're in a scooty cart.
You can't be Batman if you have Velcro shoes. All right? Like, you can't be Batman.
A flight of stairs can't take you out.
Yeah. The Flash doesn't have orthopedic walkers.
Dude,
you know,
I just and look, I know my body, but like I saw a guy at the food court area, and do you know who Nightwing is?
Oh, yeah. Dude, my son's name is Grayson for a reason.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why that is? Because I was 25 when I had a child. You shouldn't have kids that age.
That's actually...
I was like, Batman's dope. And I can name him after the first... Dude, my wife...
People used to name their kids with reason.
Yeah. I was like, Batman, what's his... And I was like, well, I can't name him Dick. And so I was like, how about Grayson? And I snuck it past my wife. She didn't do it she didn't do the math until he was born. And her cousin is my best friend. And he came into the delivery room and he's like, so what's his name? And I said, Grayson. And he goes, oh, like Robin? And I was like, yeah.
That is awesome.
And my wife's like, what? And I was like, yeah, the first Robin's was named Grayson. She was like, that's his name. And I was like, I know. She's like, legally, that's his name. And I was like, I know. I was just loving it.
She goes, you go like Robin, she goes like, what? And then it's just Pow.
Pow.
Pop. Kaboom.
That's what happens when I discipline him.
Slap.
Slap.
Ow.
Ow. Pow. Ping. Wham.
DFS. So I'm at the food court. And
Oh, yeah, sorry.
everybody's in their different cosplays and stuff. But I had this moment. I tried to take a picture of it. But there's this moment where there's a guy dressed as Nightwing standing in line waiting for Chinese food with, like, his hand, like, on his hip, like, with his hand curled, you know? I don't know if you're getting a good look at this. But, and he's, like, standing there with his shoulders slumped forward, and he's got a little belly. Like, he's not, like, fat, but he's got, like, this belly that's just plooped out over the top of his utility belt. And the irony of, like, picturing 45-year-old Nightwing waiting for Chinese food in full regalia, I just tickled me so much. And that's what this whole convention was.
He's like 3 p.m. wing.
Yeah.
Instead of, like mid-afternoon wing. Like, he's not Nightwing anymore. He's like, oh, it's getting a little late.
Susan's got school.
Oh, well, I'm going to call it, Batman. I'll see you later. He's like, it's 9:30. He's like, it's a new new Netflix documentary. Not as young as I used to be, you know?
Nightwing, the Joker, is terrorizing Gotham. Like, it is 10:30, and I did promise Beth we would watch that movie she's been wanting to watch.
Yeah, my kid's got a recital tonight. Yeah, I don't know if that's...
if he's still doing it tomorrow, if he's there tomorrow.
Put him on.
Yeah.
They just called you. Hey. Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
How long have we been doing this?
I've got a family, pal.
Yeah, you owe me one.
Okay.
Remember when you killed my sidekick? Yeah. Well, now my real kid has a recital. I got to go. It's parent-teacher conference night. Okay? Rob the bank tomorrow.
Hey, side note, Joker, look, I'm going to be honest with you, too. Now that I have kids a little bit older, I kind of understand you a little bit more. Look, I get what you're going through.
I get it. Have you ever seen Paw Patrol? Have you ever seen 16 episodes of Paw Patrol in one day?
You think you fucking scare me?
Yeah.
I watched 16 hours of Bluey.
Hey, Bluey slaps.
I don't fucking know the world anymore. I'm ready to watch it burn.
Yeah. Do you know, I can sing you the Bubble Guppies theme song if you want. We could get into, what time is it? It's time for lunch. Like, we can get deep into these weeds. I get it. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, man, you're just Batman and Joker commiserating over having children. It just...
You ever wait in line and you finally get to the front and then your kid suddenly needs to pee and so you have to start all over again? You ever do that?
Oh my gosh.
Did I break something open?
Oh yeah, that's a scab I didn't know I had.
What, dude?
Disney World. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
One time in China, this lady, we're in Disney World, Shanghai, and it was an interesting experience all around. But we're waiting in line for the Buzz Lightyear ride, and this lady behind us, her kid is like, like running around being wild, and he has to pee. So she just points him over to the corner of the room that we're in. And he just walks over and starts peeing in the corner and gets right back in line. And there was a part of me that was like, ew, gross. And the other part of me was like, yeah, I don't want to wait in line again to pee.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're already kind of outside.
It is Disney's fault. There should be bathrooms like throughout the line.
At every ride, there should be a bathroom.
Or in the line, like at certain points for when it gets really busy, so that way it's like, hey, we're already going to be in line right here for the next 5 minutes. Scoot on up to that bathroom, use it. By the time you get out, we'll be coming.
Yep.
We'll be up with you.
Did we just Disney sponsor this show? We have a million ideas. Sponsor this man.
Yes.
He just solved the biggest problem you have in your park.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know how many days have been ruined by just a diaper explosion, Yeah. And in the middle of line, you're in line to get on Peter Pan, and all of a sudden...
It's 100 degrees.
Yeah, you're holding a hot, wet diaper, and you're just... There's nowhere to go. No one wants to let you forward. No one wants to there's only one exit, and it's at the end of the ride. You just got to, jump chains and water, and it's not like a simple ride either,
Nope.
where it's just like a zigzag and you're still outside. You're inside for the whole part of it, going through like tunnels and stuff, and it's like
distraction walls.
yeah. Just distraction
It's
walls.
all they are is distraction
that's
walls.
just Disney. That's Disney. We make distraction walls like that. Like
I love, by the way, you know that whole thing about they paint the backgrounds as disappearing blue and the disappearing green colors.
Yeah.
I know people hate Disney. I understand it, but like we stayed at their resort one time, and my wife and I were walking around, and first of all we were like, "There's no bugs."
Yes.
There's no bugs.
Yes.
And then we're also walking around, and there's just light music playing overhead, and it felt like a movie. And we're walking on this boardwalk, and I was like, "Look, I'm not saying it's ideal, but corporate-made cities are kind of cool."
Yeah.
You start feeling yourself being like, I mean, maybe the almighty dollar has value after all. You feel weird because you know it's fabric. It feels like, North Korea.
Yeah.
You're like, it's a facade, but like you walk around, you're like, there's no bugs. It's like nice, casual music. I bet I could leave my wallet on this sidewalk and walk away from it and it never be stolen. And you get comfortable, and you're like, I have new towels every day. People smile at me. Oh,
Yeah, you know the murder rate in Toontown? Zero. Yeah.
Six Flags, 500 a year.
Yeah, Six Flags is
Sometimes it's the staff's fault.
Dude. Sometimes, the staff came to do battle, man.
Yeah.
If you work at Six Flags, you know you might have to fight somebody.
It's got to be weird when your head engineer is an ex-carny. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah. You don't need ropes. That's for pussies.
No. What are we going to do with ropes? What are we, sailing a ship? This is a roller coaster.
OSHA. You mean like the Pacific OSHA?
And I'm a doctor. Like, it's spelled with a K. I don't think you're real.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so Disney, listen to the people.
Yeah.
Get some
Give
money.
the people what they want, Disney.
They just want toilets. That's all they want. That's all Americans want. Everywhere we go, all we want is a clean toilet.
I've also repeatedly talked about how much I dislike Disney World and how I never want to go back ever again.
I get that.
And there are people out there that are Disney adults that are it's a little worrisome.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, when I hear grown adults be like, "Dude, I love Disney. Oh, Disney World's so great." Blah, 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 and then the blah, 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 and you're just like, it's a swamp, dude. It's a swamp. It is 110 degree. It's humid. It rains, and then it just stops, and it goes right back to being just as hot and humid. Mm-hmm. And there are no bugs, but we were in a swamp.
Yeah.
We're in a swamp, but no bugs. How is that possible? How are there no mosquitoes in Florida in Disney World?
Now, let me pitch a different angle about Disney World that you're not considering. Not having children.
Well, why are you going if you don't have children?
So
it's for children.
We went with my parents and my family, my whole crew went. So there's a big crowd. But here's the best part. My wife and I have no kids, so we would just break away, and you can move through the park so easily.
Okay.
It's easy to stand in line. Here's the thing. It still sucks. I'm not getting Disney off the hook.
Yes.
Do it a little bit.
Children are the ultimate just speed bumps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're doing it for them because you love them and you know it's a fun experience.
Yeah, you're doing it for them, but you end up resenting them for having to be there, and you're like, you're not even enjoying this. You're scared of the rides. Yeah. Why the hell did we even drive all the way down? I can't believe that do you know how much that hot dog cost me? And you just threw it up? You just threw it up like it didn't cost $17.45. You just ruined your shirt. And of course you did it at 8 a.m. because now the rest of the day we have to walk around with this puke shirt. And why didn't we bring a change of shirt? Because it's not our kid. It's yeah. So there was a lot of like.
To be fair too, Disney America is really hard because food is really expensive and so are the toys. But like, you're probably like me. I grew up poor enough that I knew to not expect a toy, and if I was getting a toy, there was probably a price limit. We didn't really buy toys from Disney. Like, we would buy little things every now and then, but food was expensive too, so it was one or the other, and I wanted food. And But when we went to Disney in Shanghai, they're all about trinkets. So they have like Disney toys are still expensive, but their food is stupid cheap. So my wife and I are just walking around just eating food and enjoying the day because we don't want any trinkets. So it was kind of also an extra, and it was cheaper tickets, so we got the VIP package. So during the fireworks display, we're in the front row away from the peasants. And so like we're up there having like cappuccinos and a muffin, and we're watching it. So it's all in Chinese. We don't know what they're saying. We know the songs. We're like, oh, circle a lot. We're singing along, but
you're singing along, but really it's like death to America.
Yeah,
capitalism is the devil, like that.
But fast forward, we went a second time and we didn't do the VIP package, and we're like, well, we'll stay for the show. We stay for the show, and now we're in the back with the peasants. And first of all, everybody's phone is just up the whole time. I watched one guy record another guy's phone, so we couldn't even see the show. And so whenever it ends, everybody just like scampers out, and it goes from this beautiful Disney landscape to there's just trash everywhere because everybody just dropped whatever was in their hands and sprinted for the one subway out. Oh man. So I hear you. Disney does suck sometimes.
I'm just not a fan. Universal Studios was super, super dope. So much fun.
But see, Disney...
I could spend 3 days at Universal Studios and not get tired of it. I did all of United Kingdom or Magic Kingdom, whatever it is, in like 6 hours. No, it was like, I'm good.
I hear
I don't
you,
need anything else.
But Disney owns so many properties that are cool now. Like the Star Wars area they built, actually pretty sick.
Yeah, my family that we did one of the rides in the Star Wars area. Mm-hmm. We did the one where you drive the Millennium.
Yeah, and after 6 hours of waiting in line.
Yeah, pretty much. And my kids were like, I hate it. It's stupid. Star Wars is dumb. I was like, shut up. This is the one thing I wanted to do. And then there was another Star Wars thing, but you have to like win a lottery to get a ticket.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, you have to wake up early in the morning and reserve a time slot to be at the waiting point. And if you miss that, you're done.
Disney is just one big test to see how good you are at planning.
Yeah, it really is.
It's not a vacation, it's a test.
They still had COVID protocols when we were there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and it was long after the pandemic was over.
You mean the plandemic? Underneath it should just say, does not reflect the views of this show. Constantly underneath me.
Except it does. No. I don't know. It was stupid. You had to reserve a table like 2 weeks in advance. And we didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So we were just walking around where can we get food?
You're not reading the weekly Disney newsletter?
Yeah. Because all these Disney adults are showing up with no kids, taking up all the good tables. Mm-hmm. And then the people with kids are there. And
that's, I think, what makes Disney adults weird. Fine, you have your uncomfortable amount of fandom. But on top of that, you've turned Disneyland Resort Fun Vacation into a game. To where I know exactly what to ask the princess to get invited into the castle. So then a 6-year-old 3 people down doesn't meet Belle because you rang the secret code and you got special. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's so funny because that's the weird part about it from an adult standpoint is the thing that you fell in love with Disney that makes you this person today. You're killing for a child.
Yeah.
That experience you had at 6, you just murdered it for another child.
There's some little girl out there who doesn't get to meet Belle because you went on, you stayed up all night one night to enter a secret code onto a website. This child was in school. You couldn't. Yeah,
your mom works 2 jobs and doesn't have time to focus on Disney.
Yeah. You stole a memory from her Ooh. She said you liked her shoes. Shut up, Carrot. Like,
By the way, that actor that you met that's playing Belle for this year.
they mock you. They smoke cigarettes in the changing room and mock you. Oh, I had another one today. Disney couple. They had matching shirts. We don't care what your magical date was, because it's always like, we got hitched, or we.
It's out of control to that level, and I also love that actor is not the cartoon character, so you still have not met Belle effectively. That 6-year-old doesn't know that. You do though.
Yeah, you know.
I can't wait to meet this 22-year-old college student that's just getting school credit.
Exactly. All she's trying to do is get a bachelor's at Florida State. You know, like that's all she's trying.
Have you seen that video of the Gaston character when the woman like comes up and starts like squeezing on him? He's like, "Oh nope, you got to go," and she's like, "Oh come on." He's like, "No. You're not a child. What you're doing is sexual harassment, you psycho."
The problem is, I guarantee you he got fired. Because if you read the website, it says never under any circumstances can you break character in the park. So that means like...
That is weird.
Dude, can you imagine if there was like a... Heaven forbid.
Oh, God.
There's like a terror attack
in like
Disney World.
An active shooter.
And they have to stay in character. And
it's Peter.
Oh, this way to the exit, folks. Oh. Like
the Peter Pan guy is like shakily being like,
"You gotta leave."
Stand down.
Mickey's got like stand down. Remember to run in a zigzag pattern.
A little bit of fairy dust, kids.
Yeah. You know what will help this situation? Is it happy thoughts, Peter? No, bobbing and weaving. Do you know the difference between cover and concealment?
We're going to get our fucking Disney Plus accounts pulled.
I know. We're going to get everything pulled. This is it's been a good run, folks. I appreciate you listening. This will be the last episode.
It'll be the last time you hear of either
while we
of us.
Laugh about a shooting at a... I mean, really, that's the next thing, right?
I mean, it is surprising it hasn't happened, but that's where you got to be like, hats off to Disney security. Think about it.
Yeah, I guarantee
bet
there's
it's beyond
cameras.
The ground. That's what I'm saying.
I bet you it's thick.
I bet you there's a lot of people you don't know that are watching.
The fact that they've kept guns out of Florida is insane.
Yeah, you thought keeping bugs were interesting. You know, I'd be like, no bugs, interesting. No anything.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you also hear about people, like, sometimes crocodiles eat people, like, on the resorts. And it's like, if a crocodile can get in, if a dinosaur...
Look, no one wants to tangle with a croc. You know what I mean? Like, that's nature setting boundaries back. Like, hey, look, you can have your silly rides, but we do live here.
Yeah, you can have the cartoon rat, but this is my swamp. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Disney has a cat problem because of when they opened, they had a rat problem? So they released a couple cats to like catch the rats.
Oh, fun.
And then those just became a lot of cats. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty awesome, though.
It's a little something now. Now, see, you learn something on every episode.
This way, folks. Hurry. Stay low. Move fast.
I would be... Fuck this. My head would come off.
Mickey's just dipping in the big orange shoes and
clop,
the mascot.
Clop, clop, clop. Goofy, that's just walking around waiting to be. Oh, gosh.
Gosh.
Okay. All right.
It's funny because it's tragic.
It is. Yeah.
All right. So that.
On a lighter note.
Yeah. All right. So I thought I'd power through some of these slides with you. Let's answer a couple of these questions. We're going to skip this one. All right. We'll go to best dark soda out of these three. All right. So we specifically dark soda. Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, A&W root beer.
Easy answer. Dr. Pepper all day.
Really?
All day. I've never liked root beer, ever.
You've never... So you're one of those people. My wife doesn't like root beer.
Can't do it. It's just not for me.
I can't. I guess I have to go Dr. Pepper as well, because every time I drink a Coke, I'm like,
I've
what have I done?
Never been disappointed by Dr. Pepper.
Remember when we talked about how McDonald's is poison?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Coke.
Fair enough. Yeah, it does. It hurts.
I mean, not that Dr. Pepper is any better at any way, shape, or form, but I just
better in every way and every shape.
I mean,
this
better
episode
for
brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
All right, that was a dud. Ooh, here we go. Which one's the best? Dollar Tree, Dollar General, or Family Dollar?
See, for me, this boils down to what I need. Here's what's weird now. They all have a frozen food section.
Yes, but there's one clear winner here.
Dollar General is the one I can go into and feel the most comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And even maybe find something of quality. But I do not hate a Dollar Tree.
No. What are your thoughts on Family Dollar?
I avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, it's so funny that I've asked a couple people this, and everybody's like, "You're gonna get in a fight at Family Dollar.
Yeah, you don't even.
You're not safe at Family Dollar."
I have a funny story about Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree is nice. Like, it's underrated.
It depends on where you are.
I would say for the majority of the Dollar Trees that I've been into, I was like, wow. Dollar General is obviously king, I think.
Yeah, they just go up everywhere.
I mean, they're everywhere. They're just, but they're not the cleanest.
No.
You'll go in there and be like,
somehow the tile is always missing pieces.
Yeah, how is the tile? It's a brand new Dollar General, and 3 tiles are already cracked.
Yeah, just gone.
Yeah. I don't understand. And how is there already stains on the drop ceiling?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
pre-stained ceiling.
This has been open a week. How?
Also, all the shelves are either completely full or completely empty.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah,
there is
half-open boxes in the aisle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Smashed bags.
Yeah, everything is... You have this much room to walk.
I walked through one time, and there was like a Hostess cupcake session, and literally somebody had just come by and just smashed all of them. And they were all just like... You could just see, like, just pulverized and just sitting on the shelf.
Now, I live, you know this, but I live in Antioch, Tennessee.
Classy.
Part of Nashville, but not the part people want to be in. But it is funny. We have a Dollar General that's one of those Dollar General markets.
Oh.
And it's actually, like, really nice.
Yeah, those are nice, man.
It's super nice. And then we have a Dollar Tree right up the street from us that after living in Antioch for, like, a week or two, my wife went to Dollar Tree to just grab some wrapping paper. And while she was in there, a guy tried to rob the Dollar Tree. But the lady, I guess she was just so confident, or this has happened enough times, she was just like, we don't have money. Take whatever you want. And that was it. The guy just got frustrated and left. I was like, that might be the best way to handle every robbery.
Yeah.
Just put that lady in every store. Just like, we don't have what you want. Please, take anything.
Okay.
I don't care about this.
Yeah, I work at Dollar General. I don't care about this store. This is a last resort for me, all right? I can't even be here past 9:30 because of my parole, all right? Like, just take whatever it is, just take it. There's a lot of really nice people that work at Dollar General. For sure. Yeah, I just shit on a lot of
But it's one of those jobs, like, in a small town, it's a good job, especially, like, for somebody who's, like, maybe in their 50s and, like, slowing down.
Or a teenager.
But then, like, when you get to a major city, Dollar General is one of those places where it's, like, we don't read your resume too closely.
Yeah, or a 7-Eleven, you know, something like that.
Do you have a steady car? Okay.
Yeah. Do you have reliable transportation to and from work? Anywhere from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you get here? We don't even care how.
Yeah. You have a Coke problem? It's all right. We have a bathroom.
Yeah.
It's employees only. Just go in there, check on the register every, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Don't worry about being up there.
Yeah. Make sure there's pizzas still, like, spinning. It's an easy job, If someone deliberately pees on the floor...
Wait until they
think about cleaning it up, or just put a sign down. Just be like, "Hey, wet floor," and then be like, "Oh, I got busy," and pass it off to somebody else. We don't care. We just have to have
legally. We have to have a body in there.
Yeah. We trust me. As soon as we can get rid of you, we will. As soon as we can move to automated, we definitely will. There is no job security here. You get no vacation, no health care. But we'll definitely just pay you in cash if you prefer that.
Yeah, we know you're just going to not show up some days, but you can just have your job whenever you come around.
Yeah. Whenever you want to do a shift, here's a yellow vest. This is Dollar General. You're welcome.
Just start opening boxes. Don't talk to the customer.
Yeah. Just if you see, like, if you just come in one day, years from now, and you see that maybe, like, the milk is expired, just take it out of the fridge, you know, or, like, put some new ones in. We keep them back here.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real latchkey kind of situation.
Yeah,
kind of
Dollar General, the latchkey career. Yeah. Hey, we keep a key under the mat, you know, just like, and you can tell people if you want. Tell people. We don't really care. If you need to come in, you really need, just throw some change on the counter. This is Dollar General.
You're fine.
We got all of this. I have a warehouse that I bought for $17.
Yeah, I just buy all this in Vietnam once in a while. I just go stock up and come back with piles of pool noodles that'll sit on display year round.
Oh, yeah. And they get them in fresh every January 6th or something. And they're like, all right, we got this year's swimming stuff up like that. You're like, what? It's October. They're like, Happy Easter. Trying to move these Snickers eggs, you know.
I bought one box of classic Vaseline. It's in 1966, and it is still here. We are good to go. Stock never moves.
Yep.
But I love a DG. All right, what do we got?
Dollar General. Okay. Ooh. Do you want to do...
Let's skip this one because
it's too similar.
It's too easy. Yeah.
These are foods invented in St. Louis.
Okay.
Gooey butter cake, toasted ravioli, waffle cone. Which one's the best? Best invented food in St. Louis.
This is a tough one because it's the savory. I love toasted wraps, but I'm going to go waffle cone because universally, if it's available, I'm not a big ice cream guy, but if I go somewhere and waffle cone is available, I will always get a waffle cone.
Interesting. I'm pretty anti-waffle in general. So
well,
waffle
you hate
cone,
the Belgium.
Yeah, I do.
People.
I hate the Dutch.
Yeah.
You
know, I had to say people at the end because I don't know what Belgian I was like the Belgian waffle, and then I was like Belgians.
Wait, no, the Dutch that's a completely different set of people, isn't it?
We went to public school.
Dutch is from Holland, right? Dutch are from Holland.
Which one was Team Iceland? I'm just kidding. It's from Mighty Ducks. I don't know, dude. I'm bad at
anyway,
those goofy countries.
I don't. Yeah. Well, yeah. But they're all white, so we can say we hate them, and it's okay. Yeah, I don't like the waffle cone.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm just constantly like on security. I'm on defense because it's melting, and then you don't want it on your hand.
But
there's no way to be. Guys cannot eat an ice cream cone sexy. It's not well, unless you're trying to catch a different type of fish. You know what I mean? You're using bait for a different type of. Because I can't lick an ice cream. No one is gonna watch me lick ice cream and be like, "Oh, nice," you know, like, "Oh, this guy's sending out vibes." It's gonna be like, fair, "Oh, this is disgusting."
Anybody who watches you eat anything and gets turned on, that's questionable behavior to begin with.
Well, that's just because you've seen me eat.
Good point.
Yeah, if you watch me chow down on wings, I couldn't eat wings and ribs. I couldn't eat around my wife for years.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she might leave me. Like, I get in there, man. I eat the cartilage. I eat the skin. I crack the bones open. I'll suck a little marrow out. Like, wow. I'll just get after it. I love chicken wings. I love ribs. Oh my gosh. And
all right,
she's just like every time she watches me, when I'm like just inhaling the marrow out of the end of a rib bone, she's like, oh
yeah.
And I'm like, oh babe, it's so good. It's so good.
Are you gonna tell me you're a toasted Ravs then, or are you?
Yeah. I'm definitely toasted Ravs.
I can't do ooey gooey butter cake. I can't.
Okay,
it's too rich.
So yes, it is. That's its downfall. I mean, I'm a little shocked that you think the thing called gooey butter cake is too rich. No, it is. It's delicious, but you eat anything more than one slice, and you're like, ooh.
But it all depends on who's slicing it, too. You ever have somebody be like, you just want a small slice, and they put it in front of you, and you're like, that's not small.
Yeah. And also, it's really thin, so it's deceiving. So you're like, oh, well, it's thin. I'll get a bigger slice. And you're like, no.
I don't like butter that much, and just the idea of gooey butter cake makes me fall out.
Toasted raviolis, man. Oof.
It's almost an unfair
how.
fight because it's the perfect, like, shareable. It's the perfect your own little snack. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You give me a sixer of toasted ravs on the go. That's a pretty good little hold me over.
What do you dip your toasted ravs in?
I mean, the go-to is marinara, but I'll be honest. I'll eat mine dry as a bone.
Yeah, if they're the right kind.
Yeah, especially if they're fresh and a little bit, the grease is still a little bit on it.
You know what I like? Alfredo sauce.
Gross.
Ew. Oh man, next level.
That is begging to have diarrhea later.
Oh, 100%. I don't recommend it for anybody. But one time,
if I saw
for
you
whatever reason, we ordered toasted ravioli somewhere, and it came with a thing of Alfredo sauce.
Oh, and it was warm,
and
right?
we were like, "This is weird." Yeah, it was warm, and we were like, "Huh." And then I was like, "Well, whatever." And I tried it, and I was like, "Hey, hold on, they might be onto something."
I will say, I guess it makes sense from the Italian food standpoint, and I will own up to a weird, weak moment. I dipped it in pretzel cheese one time.
Get out.
Yeah,
Get out.
No, here's the problem is it was good in a way that it's not like it wasn't culinary good. It was good in a you're gross kind of way. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't do this all the time, but once in a while, I'll sneak one of these in.
I think about that every time I see something like dusted with flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they crumple up the bag or whatever and then sprinkle it or roll it in something, and you're like, I would try. Okay, you've got my interest.
Yeah, I'd do it once.
I'd take a bite.
Uh-huh.
I'd take a bite. I don't know if I'd finish it, but I'd take a bite, I'd check it out. No. Okay, this one. The best dip with tortilla chips, queso, guacamole, salsa. I mean, there's only one clear winner.
So guacamole is a go-to, obviously, but I will tell you that fucking salsa is so underrepresented because we get it for free. We mistreat the hell out of Cantina salsa. Is like, it's the best, and we just mistreat it because it just comes to the table.
Salsa is the Vietnam vet of the tortilla
just spit
chips.
On it.
Yeah, you have no idea what it's been through. It was there for us. Without them, who knows what would have happened, right? But they don't get any respect because they're just trampling. They think that it's, whatever. Like, it didn't have a choice. It didn't want to be the free dip. It didn't want to come out with the chips. It wanted to be asked for.
Yeah.
But it's just what it got drummed up. I
think cheese, look, everybody will tell you, of course, the cheese is good, but first of all, they bring you too much or too little.
That is true.
They either bring you one of those little salsa cups that's like this big and
a bowl.
Or a giant bowl, and you're like, I'm either going to be a pig or I've got to pretend like I want my family to share this.
I hate that because you can't ever, like, if it's the tiny little cup and you are sharing, then you have to, like, okay, well, then they want one and they want one and they want,
Yep.
Everybody
Start
wants one.
doing food math. I hate food math.
But if it's too big and you just want some for yourself, now you look like an idiot with this giant bowl of queso dip all for you. And the thing I hate about a community bowl is, like, sometimes I want a double dip. And if I have my own bowl, then I can, like, this side of the chip, this side of the chip. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm wasting chip. But then you're like, oh, I can't. Well, I've already got my scoop,
Yeah.
And then you end up like shoveling more of it to like run down the chip.
And then it gets that film layer on top from cooling.
Oh, it's like a pudding skin.
And then you got to puncture it to get to the cheese, and it comes up with it.
But can I hear me out why I like it? Hear me out why I like that. It actually kind of keeps the cheese on the bottom warmer. So then when you stir it, you still get hot cheese. Like, it's because if it like cooled from the bottom up, it would, that would suck.
That'd be so gross.
But when it cools from the top down, it works better.
But I will say this. I also cannot eat the cheese by itself. I always end up dipping it either with the salsa or some guac.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a little bowl of queso, little bowl of salsa. Chip goes in the queso, goes in the salsa. Boom.
By the way, the only reason that works that way is you can't put the cheese in the salsa. It's too wet.
And you can't put the salsa in the cheese.
It's too wet.
Because it's cold and then it cools down the cheese. So you have to go cheese salsa.
Yeah.
You can't go chip, salsa, cheese.
Look at this podcast. Right back to two fat dudes talking about food.
I'm telling you, man, go with what you know. Go with what you know, all right?
All right, hit me with
I
another
could
one of
debate this
these.
all day, but cheese is king. I mean,
I disagree.
despite its flaws, despite its blah, 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 despite its flaws, it's king.
I disagree.
I mean, it is.
Guac is number one. Salsa is underrepresented, but guac
Salsa is
at
the
table.
backbone.
Shut your fucking mouth. Guac made at the table, right in front of you.
I've never had that, so
Well,
I
that'll
can't
change
speak
your
to
whole
it.
life.
I can't speak to it.
Do more shows.
Do
Get
more
guacamole money.
Yeah, once you get guac money.
All right, what do we got? What do we got?
Another
Easy answer. For
okay, quesadilla, burritos, tacos. Which one's the
me. Burrito
best?
all day.
Really?
It's mobile, but you can cut it up and be fancy if you want. Quesadilla is great, but you can only fit so much in there. Same thing
Quesadillas
with
are
the
for
taco.
children.
Yeah.
Quesadillas are for children.
Taco, street taco, I'll always do a street taco, but like a burrito. If you're asking me, like,
Burrito
if I'm gonna go,
tacos, those
you
are
can
pretty
do
dope.
more inside of a burrito too.
Yeah, that's true. I have to go burrito. I can't. Being in California and having those burritos
breakfast
stands that
burrito
were everywhere.
From San Diego, a breakfast burrito in San Diego,
Oh my gosh.
chorizo.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Let's just
They're
pack
just-
all this up. Let's just go to San
Let's
Diego
just go.
right now.
Let's just go.
Let's
You
just-
know what?
We're in St. Louis. Let's hop a
Our
plane.
wives will understand.
Yeah.
Babe, we're gonna live in a tent under the freeway.
Yeah.
Oh, best pizza topping: pepperoni, just cheese, or sausage. Which one's the best?
Oof. This has changed over time for me, but now it is sausage. Although I would rather do hamburger, but sausage, and I'll tell you why. Pepperoni now, I notice the grease pulling up on the inside. I realize how much grease is in pepperoni,
Yes,
and that's hard for me now.
that's true, and it is a heartburn starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of pepperoni grease, a little bit of garlic, and I'm gonna be up for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Just,
Now here's the secret though
just
for me.
terrible.
I don't like hot pizza. I want to get a hot pizza, put it in the fridge, and I want to eat it later.
You're disgusting.
I love cold pizza.
You're disgusting. Look at the picture of that cheese right there.
Oh,
With
it
it
looks
all
great.
like
I'll eat a hot pizza, but it's not my favorite way to eat pizza.
what? Who hurt you? I mean, like who? I don't. Who enjoys cold pizza over fresh pizza?
I think it's like an instant gratification. Cold food you can pretty much always eat right away.
Where are you getting this pizza that's better cold?
Oh man, if you get trash pizza, like you get a Totino's, and you
You're
cook
talking
it,
about like frozen
leftover.
pizzas.
I'm talking about leftover pizza.
Oh, okay.
Leftover
Yeah,
pizza
yeah, yeah.
is way better.
Okay, but you're talking about
way better.
frozen.
No,
You're
I'm talking about all pizza. Leftover pizza is the best.
But you said
pizza.
Tostinos or whatever.
Well, that's like, yeah.
I thought you were talking about like there's a place that you go and you like.
Oh no.
Because if
I don't-
you ever had day old Domino's,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
Garbage.
Yeah, well,
It's ridiculously bad.
but some pizza joints make pizza that holds over kind of well. But frozen pizza is the best the next day. Cook it, eat whatever you want that night. Sure.
I don't
Next
know.
day.
I don't know if I've ever had a frozen pizza make it to the next day.
That's a good point.
So where do we go with?
Sausage.
You go sausage?
Yeah.
Ah, man. Pepperoni is just classic.
Yeah,
You know
true.
what I mean? It's
It's easy.
it's a
go-to.
staple.
Yeah.
But I personally, I think, and this is weird because for a very long time, I always said if a meal doesn't come with some type of meat,
Yeah.
it's not worth eating. But I think I got to go with cheese on this one. Just because in Home Alone 2, he ordered a limo and a large cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And they were like, Mr. McAllister, your pizza. And they opened it and it was steamy. And I just remember being like, yeah.
Now, the real question is pizza style, which for me is New York style.
You like the long fold.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't do deep dish, even though I used to work.
I don't think-
Shout out the places I worked.
Are you talking about deep dish as far as like Chicago style deep dish?
I can't.
Where it's like a bread bowl with.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't do
But
that?
like Detroit pizza,
I would try it.
I can do Detroit kind of, but New York style is my all-time favorite.
Yeah, I think I got to go New York. I don't like a super thick crust.
I don't either. That's my biggest thing.
I would have to try Chicago style again to make sure I don't
It's like
it.
lasagna.
Because you can eat it and not eat the crust. You know what I mean? Because it's so like.
Because that's why you order pizza.
It's like a pie.
Yeah.
It really is a pizza pie.
It's lasagna.
You know? Yeah, it's lasagna. It's meat, cheese, and sauce just
piled up
in a bread bowl.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Chicago.
Yeah, it's good, but it's like I tell you what, it's one that's tricky cold because it's so much cheese because they use thick sliced provolone.
Yeah.
And so it congeals like real hard. So it's tough.
That one's tricky.
Yeah.
I think I got to go cheese, though. You get the right kind of cheese, and it melts just right, and it's like, it's kind of hard to beat. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a good classic pizza.
We're going to end up on Food Network.
Hey, hit me up. I'll do it. Comedy clubs, cook shows, and...
Cock.
Sure.
Check out his OnlyFans.
Oh, here we go.
Easy answer.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. I did that one on the last one, so let me go through a little bit of this. We're gonna have to get going soon anyway. Did you see that? My daughter did that one.
That one's good.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Which one's the best? Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World, Full House.
Here's what I love. All these have remakes happening right now.
Do they? Does Saved by the Bell have a remake happening?
Yeah, with the original cast.
Well.
R.I.P. Dustin D.
Yeah.
So I will tell you this answer for me. It's tough between Boy Meets World and Saved by the Bell because I love them at different times. But I'm still going Saved by the Bell. I've seen every episode from Miss Bliss all the way through. All the way through. I've watched every episode, every special. Watched them in the college years. I watched all the way up until they started doing like the next class.
Zach and Kelly getting married. You did that whole like TV movie.
Yep. Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I've been in love with her forever. You see Elizabeth Berkley is downstairs, and when she did Showgirls,
I was a Lisa Turtle guy myself.
Really? Yeah, but she got goofy in the later years.
Yeah, she went off the deep end
for a minute. And then Mario Lopez is just made of plastic. I like Mark Paul. I always thought Belding was a pervert. And then do you remember
Have you seen
Tori?
him now?
Yeah.
Oof.
Remember Tori? She was the motorcycle chick that came in later.
This girl right here.
Yeah, I had conflicting feelings about her.
Yeah.
But Boy Meets World, hands down, incredible. Will Friedle voiced Batman and Batman Beyond, and I loved that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I loved
He was also Ron Stoppable in Kim Possible.
Also, I wanted to be Sean Hunter.
Who didn't want to be Sean Hunter?
I wanted that hair more than anything.
Oh, dude, early years Eric, like the Eric in this picture here. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He was handsome. He was smart. He was cool. By the end of the show, he was an idiot.
Did you watch him in the college years?
Yeah.
It got even weirder.
Yeah,
that Lawrence brother showed up.
Yeah, it just kept going and going and going. You're like, what happened to you, man? But I don't know. I got to go Boy Meets World. I got to go Boy Meets World because of Feeney. And while Kelly Kapowski was a huge influence on me, there was an episode of Boy Meets World where Topanga got like a haircut.
Yeah, I remember you talked about this.
Yeah. Dude. That was like a moment where I remember like, oh. Like I remember sitting up straight, like watching it at home and
being
just
different.
Like and at the time I was maybe 9 or whatever, so before people were like, ew, gross. Like I was young, okay? She's still older than me, so it's not weird.
I remember having a crush on Aunt Becky despite her criminal nature.
I think that made me more attracted to Aunt Becky when I found out. I was like, oh, she does anything for her kids. She's a good mom. She's also, Aunt Becky. I mean, that's true to character, though.
I grew up with the Olsen twins. And do you remember when the Olsen twins had their own movies at Directive VHS? I remember having.
I have a daughter. I've watched those more recently than you might think.
I remember having crushes on them when they were starting to hit 12 and 13. I mean, I was also 12 and 13, but I was the same age as them, and I remember their movies and being like, I'm a Mary Kate guy.
Yeah. Oh, really? Ashley's so much hotter. Yeah. It's like they're identical. They are identical.
I was like, I could tell the difference. Mary Kate's more athletic.
Mary Kate's more of a tomboy.
Yeah.
Ashley is too much of a drama queen.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, you don't know these people. Let's see if we can get. Oh, do you like hot sauce?
I do like hot
Okay,
sauce.
which one's the best hot sauce? Sriracha, Texas Pete, Valentina, El Yucateca, Red Hot, Crystal, Tabasco, Cholula, Tapatio, Louisiana.
So I'm partial to my girl Cholula, but I do love me a little Tapatio especially if I'm getting some street tacos.
All acceptable answers.
I will say once in a while when I see the green bottle, I forget the name of it.
El Yucateca.
Every now and then I'll dip into it, but
Yep.
it's a little much for me, so it's just a little dabby dab. But Cholula is my girl.
The only unacceptable answer on this, to be honest, is Texas Pete.
Fair enough.
If you would have said Texas Pete, I would have kicked you in the shin. Texas Pete is trash for trash human beings.
This episode brought to you by Texas Pete's, the only hot sauce that everyone hates.
Yeah. It's I don't know what happened, but Tabasco must have lost a contract with the military, and one day we woke up and all the Tabasco had been replaced with Texas Pete, and I was like, I might fight for the other side now. I don't want to go out. I'm not going to stand post.
What am I fighting for?
Yeah, what are we doing?
What are we fighting for?
Texas Pete? This is what you guys are going to give us? Like, I just remember being like, this is the last straw, you know?
Meanwhile, they're at Texas Pete. They're like, we support the troops. You're
Yeah,
like, I don't want your support.
We don't want you. We don't want you. Get Sriracha on the phone. Get Sriracha. Be like, hey, I'm sorry for what we did in your country in the 60s. All right? But will you support us now?
Please.
Please.
You make those awesome bottles that
Yeah.
always are broken.
Oh, that's a...
Oh, good one.
Yeah. Which
You
one?
got some good ones.
This one?
That one's a good one, too.
The barbecue sauce?
Yeah.
Okay, which one's the best? Sweet Baby Ray's, Famous Dave's Texas Pit, Stubbs, or KC Masterpiece?
Because of where I grew up, Sweet Baby Ray's is what I've always had. I love Sweet Baby Ray's. And also it makes me think of, you ever had a Country Bob's? It's technically steak sauce.
Okay.
But Country Bob's is one of those you can use like Sweet Baby Ray's. You can use it on everything.
Famous Dave's is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Famous Dave's. KC Masterpiece is trash now.
Absolutely.
But do you remember back in the day?
Yep.
Do you remember the KC Masterpiece Lays?
Oh,
The barbecue
yeah.
Lays were KC Masterpiece?
I think that's why I used to like those barbecue. I don't like them now at all.
They changed it. They completely changed the recipe. It's not even affiliated with KC Masterpiece
Fucked up
anymore.
Lays.
I know, but it's like KC Masterpiece isn't even the same as it
True.
used to be. So it was probably like the most toxic thing ever. And then they were like, all right, guys, you got to stop putting Oxycontin in the KC Master. You know what I mean? The barbecue sauce doesn't need to be that good. And they were like, fine. And then they
People
changed the
start
recipe.
feeding.
Now it's gross. Yeah.
Like, man, I'll suck your dick for some barbecue sauce,
Oh,
man.
man, you got any more of them Lays, man? Oh, man. I'm so itchy, dude. You got to fold it over one. Oh. Dude, those folded over Lays.
Oh, you
those
get
are
a
the
little
best.
extra? Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it looks like, just like a tiny little taco. And, the
Weird
big
just-
flat ones, I could pass on those all day. But you
Yeah.
pull out one of those folded over ones, and it's like a different color than all the rest.
This is
Oh,
how,
man.
This is how I know we're two fat dudes. Because I
Well-
know exactly what you mean.
If you're just now figuring out we're two fat dudes, man, I'm so
I just
sorry.
got back from Dragon Con. I'm feeling kind of good.
Yeah, you like I said, you're a 9 at Dragon Con, man. Oh. All right.
Okay. This is
Best chips.
This is a tough one, actually.
Doritos, Cheetos, Pringles, Tostinos, Fritos, Lay's.
Just classics, right of each. Bless you.
Yeah, well, because let's go
Okay.
just original flavors first. You know what I mean?
I think this one's tough.
And we can break it down if we have to.
Because I like, sometimes I like classic Lays. Like if I'm making a sandwich, I could throw a few on a Sammy. Or like weirdly,
Yeah.
if I'm at the ocean and you've been swimming and you come up and you make like a deli sandwich with some chips, sounds great. But Cheetos, probably if I'm just casually snacking.
I don't think that. Which kind though? Like the squiggly ones or the puffy
the
ones?
crunchy ones.
You don't like the
I don't
puffy
fuck
ones?
with the puffy ones.
I can't. I couldn't eat Lay's at the beach because there's something about the texture of the chip would make me think of sand, and then I'd be like, "Am I eating sand?" And then I don't know if you ever got sand in your mouth, but it's like one of the worst feelings.
You have no trust.
No, I don't. I don't.
Did somebody open this closed bag of Lay's, fill it with sand, knowing I'm going to eat it?
Well, I just feel like once the bag's been opened, there's always wind. There's always someone running by, rogue volleyball.
Constantly rogue volleyballs and people running by.
Just kicking up sand into my chip bag.
Just constant Rocky montages. Just two boxers running by on the beach constantly.
Just imagine, picture sand in your mouth right now, you chomp down, and it's just that gritty.
Oh, it's terrible.
Grindy. Yeah, it's like it makes me get. So I couldn't eat Cheetos on the beach.
Lay's. You can eat Lay's.
Or Lay's on the
beach. You can eat Cheetos.
Yeah, I could eat Cheetos. It's different.
Here's
Doritos.
Here's my big thing with Cheetos, and this is why I like them, especially the hard crinkly ones. You can tilt the bag and just pour it in, and you can just load. But I know you can with regular chips, but it's easy with Cheetos.
I'm about to say something that blows your mind. You can do that with all chips.
I know you can do it with all chips, but it's easier with Cheetos. They're built for that. They're built
tiny. For the slide. Yeah. That's true. That is true. I would say those and the Fritos twists, the honey barbecue twists, those slide very well.
Arguably, Fritos are, but I hate Fritos. Hands down, top to bottom, all of them. The only time I like a Frito is a walking taco. That's where you pour the chili in the Frito bag.
Okay. Here's this. I hate chili. I hate chili with like a passion.
The country? You don't even know anybody from there.
No, that's Chile.
Oh, sorry.
I hate chili. I don't like it. I never have. But chili cheese Fritos, I'll
throw
love
up right now.
I love chili cheese Fritos. I can't get enough of chili cheese Fritos, man.
Gross.
They're so good. What about Doritos? You like Doritos? Not really?
And I as a kid, loved them. Yeah. Now it's just too much. It's all the extra powder, and I don't know. It's not for me anymore.
Man, you've changed.
I've got a sophisticated palate.
Dude, China changed you, man.
It really did.
You're different.
In China, all the chip bags
wait a
minute.
Princesses. You don't like Doritos because of the powder, but you eat Cheetos. Uh-huh. Nothing's more powdery than Cheetos.
I agree, but here's the difference. I don't have to touch the Cheetos. I don't think you're understanding the key part here. I don't like touching chips.
That's so weird.
I don't like because it always leaves something. I don't like having to wipe my hands off. I like my hands to be left alone. Give my hands some space.
Back off my hands.
Too easy.
This one's too easy?
Way too easy.
Which one does the best?
Not even a question.
Which one does the best sandwiches? Quiznos, Jimmy John's, Blimpie, Subway?
It's JJ's every day. Subway, you smell like Subway for the rest of your life.
Yeah, Subway. I remember when I used to think Subway was healthy.
Oh, man.
Wasn't that
Jared
the day?
took so much from us.
Dude, Jared really.
And Blimpies and Quiznos barely existed.
Yeah. Dude, Blimpie, I actually loved Blimpie.
Quiznos
It was so good. It was so, and Quiznos had a great hot minute. Do you remember that commercial?
The little
with the mice. People wouldn't not believe that was like a real ad.
Yeah.
Today, Okay. Which one's the best? Del Taco, Taco John's, Taco Bell.
Is Taco John's a national brand?
No,
I didn't.
I think it's just Midwest.
Because I was thinking about the commercial. There's a whole lot of Mexican going on at Taco John's. That is crazy that was the commercial. It was not Mexican ever. So here's what I'll say. If I'm in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, I'm swinging through some TJs.
Yep. Okay.
Everywhere else in the world, I'm going to Taco Bell.
I got to say, if I can do it, I'm going to go Taco John's.
Yeah.
But, man, when I was on the West Coast, I loved Del Taco.
Del Taco's great.
Del Taco was so good. There was this one dude I knew who in the Marines, and he was born in East Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
East Los.
Okay.
And he was the hardest, like meanest. He would run like 12 miles every day.
Yeah.
He was just like tatted, like covered in tats and stuff like that. And the only time I ever saw his personality crack through was everybody was like, "Hey, what are we gonna get for lunch today?" And somebody's like, "Oh, let's send a runner to pick up Del Taco." And he's like, "Oh, did you say Del Taco? Oh, if we're getting Del Taco, hold on, let me go get some money." And he was like sprinting to the store to pull out cash, and he was like, "I want 12 tacos," like that. Like he broke all. Like it was the only time I ever was like, "Oh, he's a real person."
Isn't that fun though? Isn't it fun to see people like their personality crack through just like a little tiny bit in that way, like about something small that they love, like Del Taco for that? That's hilarious to have a guy who's just like, he's so excited for the rest of the time. He is quote unquote a devil dog.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you're like Del Taco, and he's like.
Yeah. It was like a reward or something. Oh, this might not translate, but who has the best gas station pizza? Casey's, Quick Trip, or Hunt Brothers? So, there's also Godfathers. Have you ever had a Godfathers?
Yeah, but there's not very many of those left.
No.
Didn't Herman Cain own that?
I have no idea who that is.
Herman Cain?
That's the guy who played Superman, right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. Those are your two paths in life. You can play Superman on a TV sitcom, you can own gas station pizza chains.
So here's the thing: in Missouri, people love the QT. QT in Missouri is like Buc-ee's everywhere.
That's a St. Louis thing.
Yeah,
St. Louis loves QT, man.
But I don't think their pizza's good. Hunt Brothers it depends on where you land. Hunt Brothers is decent. Casey's is consistent, but it's all trash.
Yes, it is all.
Casey's is
it's
consistent.
Gas station pizza. You know what you're doing when you go in there.
It's like,
you're not expecting. Yeah, when for a while Casey's had a brisket, it was like a slow smoked brisket pizza.
Sick thinking about this,
and you were like, I know what I'm getting.
Yeah,
this isn't brisket. No. This is shredded horse meat. But they covered it in a cheese sauce, and I'm gonna eat it. You know what I mean? Like
I'd say Casey's is the most consistent to where I could eat it.
Oh yeah.
Like they had this taco pizza. I remember this guy I used to do stand up with. He loved the Casey's taco pizza. And every time I go to his house, he'd have it. And I'm like, ugh. But I'd eat it.
Yeah.
I'd eat it.
Because also free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, early comedy, Michael?
Oh yeah. If somebody was like,
beef
"Hey,
jerky on the floor.
Do you want some of this?" I'd be like, "Yeah. How much? I'll take it all. What do you want?"
I did a show one time, and in the green room, they had all these snacks and like baskets and stuff. And they're like, "Take whatever you want. We refill it every night." And I fucking cleaned house, dude. And it's all stuff I didn't. It's like all cookies and stuff. It wasn't real food.
Oh. Would you rather have been alive? Which one do you think would be the best? 1969 or 2069?
If I go back, am I going back as me right now with all my knowledge? Because then arguably I'm going to the future just as me with all my knowledge.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because if you have to go forward, you're not going to learn
anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 30 years behind.
Exactly.
But if I go in the past,
you're going to be 20
plus years ahead.
6. Right? 26 years?
Behind.
26 years ahead? Or no, behind if you went to 20 whatever.
I'm going to be
whatever
honest,
the date
I'll
is.
still be kind of behind in 1969 because I don't know how to be in 1969.
Exactly. I would be so lost.
Here's what I would say. I would do 1969 because I would be at least vaguely aware of what to expect.
Well, you also have to remember that it would be a very different experience if you and I had a different skin color. 1969 would be a lot harder.
For sure.
I think it would be very hard for us.
But you asked a white guy. I would imagine if I was black, I might have a different answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we also have to keep in mind, like
I wasn't pretending in my head, like, well, if I went back to 1969, maybe I could be the first black guy to play in the NHL. I was about to say the first guy in baseball. I was like, I think that's in the 30s or 40s.
Ooh, which kind of peanut butter is best, chunky or creamy?
Creamy.
Yeah,
down.
if you get chunky, if you even ask for chunky, I don't know if I can trust you.
Yeah.
My kids made these, so we're just gonna scroll through.
I have very big opinions about this.
What's the best type of fry? Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest, you don't even have the right answer up.
No, these are just suggestions because
Okay.
I've had a lot of people be like, I can't think of all the fries.
So this is
But
gonna
usually
sound.
if you see a couple pictures, you're like, oh, I can tell you which one.
Here's the thing. I think about
Just
French fries.
throwing cups everywhere.
Whoops.
Spilled
I
it in
think
the
about.
grass.
I think about fries. I have an actual opinion about French fries. The overall greatest French fry is the Idaho potato cut crinkle cut fry. The crinkle cut French fry, when done properly, is the best French fry.
That's the single worst fry
Hear
that
me out.
there is.
Listen to me. When done correctly, crispy shell, not soft gooey inside, just slightly like a little bit of moisture, a little soft on the inside. Now, I don't count because the potato wedge to me is not a fry.
No.
So I don't, because that's my all-time favorite is the potato wedge.
I agree. The potato wedge.
Now,
it's covered in fried chicken batter. It's not.
I'm sitting down. I like a shoestring fry if I'm using it as a base layer and I'm putting stuff on top of it. Shoestring fry. Otherwise, trash garbage. I like the curly fry, but I have to be sitting down with a plate. I can't be on the road car eating a curly fry.
I will disagree with you that the crinkle fry is the worst because it is never done correctly. It is always unsalted or way too well done or not done enough.
Not done enough is tough.
And old crinkle cut fries are like the worst.
Now, what about take the crinkle out of it, but like that kind of build of a fry, the ones they do now that are like super seasoned up with stuff, I do like that style.
The zesty ones. Yeah. I love a good seasoned fry.
But I have a lot of
Cajun
fry opinions.
Yeah, I am a big fan of a steak fry.
Ooh, good steak fry will do it.
Good steak fry.
But it's got to be like the perfect level, because there's nothing worse than getting a steak fry that's thin. Too thin.
True.
You want a little bit of thickness, but it's an art.
I do like it though. Sometimes you will get a steak fry that on like one end has a crunch to it, like just one end of it for whatever reason burned or got a little crispy.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a thick potato chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that with a good steak or something like that. Oh,
people abuse the French fry approach because you can just, but like tell me that Five Guys, however you feel about Five Guys, they crush it with their fries.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
And by the way, malt vinegar with some French fries. Call me British, I don't care.
I thought that was more of a Canadian thing.
Maybe. They're just colder British.
Oh, I think that might be the last one. Should we? Let's just do what best condiment. If you had to pick, you had to go
top condiment.
Top condiment: ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, mayonnaise. Yeah, I hate mayonnaise. I can't do it. If I order something and mayonnaise comes on it, don't tell me about it. I'll eat it and I'll just power through it, but don't let me see it. Don't let me eat it. Like my wife ruined things for me all the time. She's like, there's like mayo in there. So I'm like, shut up. Just let me enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Here's the thing. If it's a fancy mustard, I'll do it. If it's just yellow mustard, I can't. But it all depends on what you're dipping, right? Like I love ketchup. I really genuinely do. But like a fancy mustard, like a Dijon mustard or spicy brown.
Yeah. I think I got to go hot sauce. If I could only have one sauce condiment.
Oh, if we're just going outside the realms here?
Well, I just mean
general?
top condiment. Like if you had to put one thing with any food for the rest of your life, I would go hot sauce because it goes on everything. Pizza, fish, pasta, steak. You could even put a little hot sauce on a steak that sucks. I've had so many well done steaks.
I would have to agree
that like people have just destroyed, and you just like, all right, I'm gonna douse this in hot sauce.
Hot sauce might be the move. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that might be yeah.
I could eat cat shit if it had hot sauce on it. Probably.
Well, good news.
Well,
We've
speaking
got
of
some
which,
cat shit.
Karen, if you want to come ahead and come in,
Beth,
this is the
Trisha.
Yeah, this is our weekly segment, cat shit.
David, if you'd bring in that cat shit we have.
Yeah, Rebecca. All right. Last question I ask everybody. What's the best way to fix this?
Next move on the studio?
Yeah.
Good questions. Good question. I like the way. I think I know it's gonna be tough because of the couch, but like, I think you need like a plant.
Yeah, plant.
A plant. Maybe like here by the chair.
A
over
nice
on this
ficus?
side. Yeah, like.
Perhaps a fern or two.
Yeah, or maybe even something like a palm.
A palm. If I just stapled them to the ceiling. I just stapled tree leaves.
And hear me out, studio pet.
I would love to bring my dog. I would love to bring my dog.
So does that no to a ferret? I have a ferret in my car I'm trying to get rid of.
He's been in there for a week. He's getting pissed.
I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't catch the damn thing.
Shifty fuck.
Ever since he got into my Vaseline.
Yeah. Shifty dude. Moves quick.
Yeah. All right. You got anything to plug? Do your Instagram one more time. Any shows?
Yeah, my Instagram is @YetmanMT. It's right here.
Oh,
I'd like to give you homework.
Yeah.
I do stand up in Nashville, so you can just kind of look me up online. And then I have a show in Nashville that you co-produce. It's called Prom Night, a comedy showcase. It's a every other month kind of showcase where we let up-and-coming performers compete to be prom queen. It's an audience vote show, and then we bring in special guests and headliners as well. So check it out, Prom Night.
All right. As always, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. It really helps me out in the long run. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you. All right. See you next week.